Hey there everyone, got Oxide Fox here. Figured it was time to get another video up on the channel. And man, I got something special that I've been working on. I did this for a little, like a challenge or something that was on Instagram. Someone was holding. Had 2 weeks, start to finish, to build something. I kind of wanted to make a point to work with a die-cast model, to kind of prove that you could still be a model maker or a model builder using a die-cast instead of a plastic kit. And this is what I came up with. This was a 2010 Chevy Tahoe done up like a Secret Service car. And as you can see, that ain't much left of it. People keep asking me about this one. They think it's a Jeep or a type of Ford or something. And that's what I love about it. There's almost no defining features left on this guy. So what I was going for, if I was even going for anything at the time, was just I wanted to make the meanest looking post-apocalyptic vehicle I could. Just I didn't want to leave any panel on this thing untouched. So I got a big hole cut in the roof as well. Made a custom hood, still got the doors that open, even a hatch in the back. Try to get all of that in the shot. Yeah, so this little competition was like start to finish, 2 weeks. I like the hashtag 2 week model car build off or something like that. And there's actually another one going on that I'm building for something as well. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it got me out of I don't know if you call it like art block, or I was just lazy and didn't really feel like working all that much. But yeah, that definitely helped. So I know the chassis for this thing, I actually have most of it right here. This was the original main chunk of it, literally just cheap looking plastic that was just formed to look like the bottom of the chassis. And I was like, nah, I could do way better than that. So it's actually sporting most of the chassis of a 1/20th scale GMC pickup truck kit. Got a transfer kit on there. Yeah, I think the kit was actually four-wheel drive as well, so most of the chassis was there. I think I just stretched it a tiny bit to get the wheels to line up in the wheel wells real nice. Little skid plates. Had to make it look like they smashed in the oil pan real good to clearance the front diff. Just got the little gas tank in the back. I think that was actually from a tow truck. And you can see these two blocks right here where the seats are. The seats were actually hollow, so I actually used hot glue as like a filler, and then just shaved it out with just a box cutter, just a razor blade. I actually went as far as to put little springs for the coils. I don't know if they'll show up on the film here. Oh yeah, they're there. Yeah, so that was definitely a little added touch that I probably didn't need to do, but it just seemed like, I had the springs and they were about the right length, so it doesn't feel like I have to do all that much to it. As you're, several hours into doing it, it's like, well, shit. Should have taken the easy road maybe, but I'm pretty proud of this thing. That whole front face of this thing is all just plastic styrene, all from scratch. Big steel pipe bumper. Made sure to paint as much as the inside as I can so you can't see any of that white styrene. Got the one gold tooth. I saw a hot rod in a car magazine that they'd customized it doing that, and I just thought it looked pretty cool. It was definitely different, you don't see touches like that all that much. Little hood, just a little bit of diamond plate. The engine's actually from a like a 1980s, late 80s dragster. Got dual ignition on there. So I actually have two spark plugs going to each cylinder. And that was or two spark plug wires, and that was a total pain in the ass. I did some cables red, some yellow, just to make it look mix match, and like they're using whatever they got. Nice huge oversized radiator. Went for like an electric pusher fan. You know, stick with the time period of the vehicle, more modern technology. You know, went real aggressive on the window armor, just trying to make it look as mean and angry as possible. Little armor around the mirrors, little slots in the windows that allow you to see out of them still. I imagine mirrors would be pretty useful, you know, and you're still going to need, because obviously you're still going to need to be able to see behind you, and your blind spot's going to be a lot bigger now that you can't see out of a lot of these windows. Also, in case you got anyone climbing on the car or anything. Don't know what kind of world this thing would come from. There's a little plastic, a little styrene gun that I made out of scratch. I'd actually had this made up for a while, but I ended up not using it on the car. I went for a different one on that model. I got the idea from watching Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown, and they were in some Middle Eastern country, and I think it was when they were talking about how they overthrew Gaddafi or whatever. I don't remember the exact episode, but he was in this like little museum where they set up a lot of the homemade weapons that they made. You know, some pretty crazy stuff to see that and hear the stories. A lot of them, they were actually calling in airstrikes from NATO using Twitter. So it's like, you know, like that's pretty badass, you know? Using social media for something more than just LOL, you know, hashtag pizza, you know, got all this random crap. I got friends that are all about social media and they just tag me in the stupidest crap. So one picture I was doing though, trying to stay on topic here, was when I stripped the whole body and it was nothing but the metal left. I was heating this up with a blowtorch in one of the pictures I took. My Instagram, by the way, is also just Oxide Fox. Got all kinds of neat stuff in there. I know heating up the diecast can be pretty tricky. If you do it a little bit too much, the whole car will literally just turn into a puddle. Like here, yeah, so this is a diecast that I think I just burned this in my old garden, yeah. As you can see, the metal just literally melted and fell away and made a big hole there. But I knew that you can really mangle diecast up pretty good. Like this guy here. And I think I may have wanted to go for something a bit more aggressive like that, but I just didn't want to take the risk of it completely melting, because yeah, it's real easy to mess up. I think this model, I originally stripped all the parts, and I wanted to, I was gonna paint it or something. I was, you know, back in high school, you know, I was still starting out, I didn't know shit. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll just burn the paint off, you know, put it in our fireplace, you know, turn on the gas. A few seconds later, the thing just starts melting. I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, but anyway, trying to stay on topic again. These wheels were from another diecast from the Fast and Furious Camaro, except the back sides of them were hollow. So what I did was I filled them in with hot glue and then shaved it down with a pocket knife. Made sure to, you know, keep all the glue away from the edge of the inner wheels because I didn't want any of that to come seeping through. And then made sure to water down some paint. I think I just used acrylic paint and poured it in there and pushed it around a little with a small brush, just because I didn't want to see any, like, I don't want to see any bare plastic or any glue or anything, because it'll just ruin the model instantly. Like if you look up under a wheel well and it's just white plastic. You got a lot of little decals on this one. Wanted to give this one a more urban feel. So went for the little graffiti. Got this from some like model train graffiti pack. Put them on the side of like little train cars. Yeah, I wish I could paint this, but nah. Like I'm not that good with a paintbrush. Nice little lights up on the top. Little bar going around to protect them. Didn't even leave the inside untouched either. Little nitrous bottles on the wheel wells. A little bit of cloth on the floor. I'm trying to do this through the viewfinder so I can see. Little straps over the seats for little seat covers. Got some little, those were fire extinguishers, but they look pretty close to nitrous bottles. Even got a little bit of graffiti up under the, if I turn this maybe, the end of the hatch. Got all kinds of little stickers and graffiti on this. Just trying to give it a... I know I already said this, but they make it look like it comes from a more urban environment, you know? Whenever you think of the apocalypse, it always seems like they're out in the desert, you know? Like, I don't know, like this could come from a world of like zombies maybe, or just... Maybe even... If you watch any of those movies, like... District 9 or Elysium. I know I always love watching those movies with the state of the world. Like, it's not some sort of crazy giant nuclear attack or viral outbreak. It's literally just, it's like the economy or just not enough people able to pay taxes, you know, and limited police force and no one to keep paying taxes for fixing infrastructure is basically all it takes to make the world start looking a bit more apocalyptic. Got the exhaust come up right in front of where the taillights used to be. Got some nice spikes in the back. Just these are more for, you know, to look more God, what's the word? More, you know, not for show. These are like actually like utilitarian style, like they're there for a purpose, you know, like make sure no one can rear end you. Made sure I cut them in a way that looked like if you did rear end it, it would probably slice right into your radiator, or, you know, try to do more damage to them rather than yourself. Definitely an offensive style weapon. And especially the armor on here. I didn't want to cover up the outside completely in armor, so I covered up some of the door panels with like little bits of metal to, you know, give it the look that there was some armor plating going on in there too. And I did all this in 2 weeks. So yeah, I was thrashing on this one pretty good. Alright, what else did I do on this guy? Let me just... Yeah, try to think for a sec. Yeah, I know, I'm looking into trying like actual editing, you know, and maybe like a title screen would be pretty cool. Especially helping with tutorials. And I got some buddies that are suggesting using an iPhone, and the iMovie Maker's pretty good for what I would need it for, just starting out. But anyway, that'll just about do it for this one. This is a model that I was calling Urban Rage, by the way. I think, like, I went through so many names trying to come up with something that would fit the style, the time period, the character of the car. And, like, you know, I thought of, like, some other names that'd probably fit pretty good, like Urban Warrior, or, you know, because I already did the Rioter. They're like Eastern Rider or whatever, you know, like the name is also a pretty big part of the car, you know. Just don't want to put the in front of everything, you know. But yep, that'll just about do it for this one. So let me know what you think of this guy. I got a whole bunch of projects in the works, and you know, I'll be uploading pictures of them pretty soon. But for now, have a good day.